Hey everybody, ModelMan here. I can't talk for too long because there's a lot of paint fumes in here. I had thought I just recorded a whole bunch and it turns out that I hadn't, which really sucks. The only thing I've done is the directions say that you should put two halves of these together and then attach the three of them from there. I tried running LED tape through a taped off section of this and it worked well enough, but it did tend to get stuck here or there. So what I figured I'd do is simply tape the bottom together first, or is this the top? I'll have to check out the directions. I just kind of started doing this without thinking about that. So I'll be able to lay out a ring of LED tape here, and then I'll essentially seal that into place by putting this on top from there. How I'm going to get the wires to the central core, I haven't figured much of that out yet. I'm just kind of winging this and going along as I go along. One of the things that I had been hoping was that I could cut a single foot long length of LED tape. This is about half a foot right here. So I'd attach one end of it here, leave the other end dangling, drill a hole through this section here, stick this on top, run the LED tape through, stick it in the bottom here and shove it up. That's not going to quite work. It would have saved a lot of soldering, but it looks like I'm just going to have to solder each individual piece to the ring of LED tape as it goes along. Other than that, I don't know that there's too much to do. I'm hoping to knock this out relatively quick. I'm not painting it or anything. Well, I did coat the entire inside with at least one coat of frosted glass, just to give it that slightly cloudy appearance, but there isn't really going to be painting on the outside. This is all electrical, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. There should be a fair amount of soldering. I don't know how much time I'll be able to devote to this. I'm kind of doing it in between a Darth Vader model and a Jupiter 2 model. So, like I said, if I can do this real quick here or there, that'll definitely be good, but I won't be spending a lot of time on it at any given moment. But I'll be sure to get the videos as I go along. So, for the moment, I should take a look at the instructions, see how this really goes together, and go from there. One thing I have discovered is that this section here, there's a platform there, here, and over here. LED tape cannot be run through those, so if I'm going to light this ring up, I'm going to have to cut a section for here, wire it to here, another section of LEDs there, wire it to here, and to there. I don't know that we're really going to be able to see what's going on right there, but there are in fact two little drill holes just on the outside of the center pin. And that's so I can set an LED in the top. I don't know if one belongs there, but I do want to have the option of doing that. And over here on this piece I've glued these two together and am going to do the same thing. So in this case, it's a really tight fit between these two pieces, and I'm basically going to have a 3mm LED right there in the bottom. I'll scuff it up so it gets as much dispersion as possible. That's pretty much the only way to light this. It's definitely not tall enough. Even if you chop down LED tape, it's just not wide enough to support a rim around there, which would of course look beautiful, but not quite possible at all. One other option would be to take a 10mm LED, shave off the head so it's flat until it's flat against this bottom here. That way it will at least radiate the same light all around and have a central focus, whereas a 3mm just sticking out of here at the top could look like a 3mm sticking out of the top. So what have I done and what am I doing? You'll remember that I put the two drill holes down there. Each of the legs of the LED went through that. There's two drill marks here. There's also an LED right in there. I didn't bother with the 10mm test. I just went straight for the 3. I think it'll work. I've just soldered a 470 ohm resistor to the positive leg of the lowest LED. This long leg here is the positive leg of the second LED. And in this section here I'm going to have yet another LED, and all of these wires I think are going to have to try and feed through a couple small holes I've got here, but why don't I go and make those a little more spacious since we've got room. And again, I'm going to insert that little guy there, just like that. I'll even drop a dab of blue in there too. Blue? Glue. How about glue? Now, there we go. I'm going to have to make a little more room for this resistor. I do not want it touching the bare plastics that will start to melt it. And get those legs separated there. I don't even see the negative leg from there. So I'm going to have to wire that down here, unfortunately. Previously I put 2 small drill marks through the top of this, but not through this. Now it's time to glue this on, and then I'll use those drill marks to help get through to the other side of this. And I'm going to put one LED just in the top of there. We'll put that aside for a little while. Over on here, the little cup and ball design here is not glued together. I may not have to glue it together ever, I'm hoping. Maybe it'll just pin it into place using the pressure of the wires here. And speaking of those, this should work out fairly well. I do have to be real careful about crossing them, of course. I also want to make sure that the LEDs, or the resistors rather, are as suspended as possible given their proximity to anything in particular. I don't want them touching bare plastic or other wires or causing any kind of shorts and so on. So let me solder this black wire. I'm going to strip a little bit and solder it to those 2 wires and go from there. I can't really use a regular wire stripper on here, so what I'm going to hope is that I don't quite cut through that wire. Let's give this a go and see what happens. Not too bad. Or even, let's put the bottom on here to get the full effect. Now this I will have to glue on. It's pretty good overall. I will shoot this with frosted glass before I glue it on though. that's already getting hot.